guys, it's Becca, and welcome to my first non-readathon weekly reading update. It's Sunday night, and I just got home from work. And this week has just been really bad. If you guys have been watching my channel for a while, or at least from last week, you would know that last week was my vacation, and Monday was my first day back after my week off. I have just been working so many hours. I'm so tired. It's been great. Like, I just haven't had a good day. Like, just one good day. I mean, obviously, like, I had a day off, and I spent that with my friends, and that was a good day. But, like, at work, I haven't really had a good day. So I come home, and I read what I want. This week, you guys have watched my September TBR. You know that my brother chose my TBR for this month, and he picked 6 books for me. Most of them, except for one, are all fantasy. And big fantasy. And I was supposed to start reading those. I had plans to start reading them, and I just didn't. This week has just been really awful. I haven't wanted to read fantasy. Like, I love escaping into a new world. And here, let me just move this down. I love escaping into a new world, and I love fantasy so much, and I really wanted to get into it, but I believe this week was just so bad I needed only contemporary. Well, mostly just romance. Didn't matter what kind of romance, but I think I read mostly smut. So, yeah. Let's get on with that. Okay, so the first book I picked up this week, since last Friday, yeah. So the very first book I picked up for the month was the one book that I was super excited to get because I just got this really early. Like, I got this, it was Thursday I went shopping, and it wasn't supposed to come out until Tuesday. Oh my god. And that is Josh and Hazel's Guide to Not Dating by Christina Lauren. I have been so pumped for this book ever since I found out about it when I went to go see Christina and Lauren. They were doing a signing. They were doing an event for at that time, their newest book, Love and Other Words, had just come out. That was in, what? God, I can't remember. Was that in May? Or something like that. It was earlier in the year. And they were talking about Josh and Hazel, and I'm just like, that sounds amazing. I want that book now. So I've been waiting impatiently for this book, and I finally got my hands on one. I'm so excited, and I read this book in literally like 2 sittings. I couldn't stop reading it. It was so fantastic. This is about Hazel, who is so eccentric, so weird. She has no filter whatsoever. She'll just blurt out anything she's thinking, and I freaking love that. And then there's Josh, who is the complete and total opposite of her. And they meet in college at this party, and she's drunk. She's just so drunk, and she propositions him, and then proceeds to throw up on his shoes. So obviously that didn't go well. And they go their separate ways after college. They don't really connect in college, except for that and like one other time. And then fast forward 7 years, and Hazel is a teacher, and she's trying to get a job at this other school where her friend works at, and her friend's husband is a principal. So she's pretty much got an in, but she really, really wants this job. And her friend and her husband are hosting this barbecue, and they invite Hazel because all the other teachers are going to be there. So this way, just in case she doesn't get the job, she can connect, with these teachers, and hopefully, everything will go great. And then her friend Emily introduces her to her brother, who is Josh. Hello. And Hazel just immediately goes, "We're gonna be best friends. Don't care. You're my best friend now." And obviously Emily's not excited about that because she's her best friend. But It's so good. Like, of course, they become something more. Of course, there's a romance between the two, but they don't start off that way. They start off as friends first, and their relationship is just so perfect. And I absolutely love this book, these characters, just everything about them. Literally, Hazel is my favorite character that Christina and Lauren have ever written, and Josh is just absolutely perfect for her, and their relationship is just so perfect, and their friendship, and the fact that Hazel has this great relationship with this whole family. I love this book. I gave this, of course, 5 out of 5 stars. This is my favorite of their books. And it's funny because each and every book they come out with, I believe that was always going to be my next favorite. And then this one just came out, and I loved it. And I know they got another one coming out, and I think it's next year. It's like early next year, and I don't know. I don't think anything would ever trump this book. This book was so freaking good. 5 out of 5 stars. If you have any desire to pick this up, I highly suggest you do. It's so fantastic. So then I picked up my first Debbie McCumber book, which is Wanted Perfect Partner. Me and my best friend, we picked these up together because we really wanted to try Debbie McCumber. We've heard some really, really great things. I mean, she's a Harlequin romance author. I can't talk. I just got home from work, guys. Though all of my videos, I can't talk. She's a Harlequin romance author, and she's supposed to be really good. So we decided, why don't we pick up a couple of her novels and see, how this goes. So Wanted Perfect Partner is about the single mother Meg and her daughter and her daughter's best friend set up this profile for her on this online dating website without telling Meg at all. And they talk back and forth with this guy who they think is perfect for her mother. But Meg has no idea what's going on. And then they spring it on her like, hey, you need to go on this date with this guy. Like, he's waiting for you. And we totally forgot to tell you. So, like, you're going on this date with this guy. Okay. And obviously she feels bad for him. So she does end up going. And then she gets there and she meets Steve, who's waiting for her. And we find out that Steve also didn't know about this until last minute. Apparently his sister was the one who set up the profile and has been talking back and forth with Meg's daughter, Lindsay. Okay. So they both came to this date thinking that the other person was expecting them and they had been, had been talking back and forth with either her daughter or his sister, and they both find out that they were set up, and it's really all that happens. Like, they go on this date, and they decide to try and play, like, they try to play this joke on the daughter and the sister, like, that they're this totally different person that they were expecting, that kind of thing. That happens. This book was just, like, really over top. First off, let's talk about the fact that this is all that book is. This. That's the book. This is like a novella. And oh my god. The romance just didn't feel believable to me. I didn't necessarily like it. I felt like the progression of the relationship was so unbelievable it wasn't even funny. I'm telling you, at the very end, something happens and you're just like, why? What? Like, they literally just met. There's some steamy kisses. That's fine. But I expected there to be smut. At least one smut scene. Nothing. And I'm like, okay. She's a Harlequin romance author. You would think there would be. Okay. This doesn't bode well for Debbie McCumber, because first off, I didn't like any of her characters. I felt that whole setting up, like, okay, the daughter set the mother up. And she pretty much told her, this is what you're going to be doing, this is how much you're going to be eating, this is how much weight you need to go, you need to have this total exercise regimen. And the mother's just like letting it happen. I'm like, man, I'd slap her. Like, just shut up, I'm your mother, you don't tell me what to do. Like, that kind of thing. It's like, you know, she wasn't, it was just so unbelievable to me. And I really wasn't liking it throughout the entire thing, and the only thing that kept me going was like, okay, where's that smut scene? Like, it's really what I needed. And it was nothing. And I didn't necessarily like that. And the fact that, yeah, 170 pages and the progression of the relationship is just not believable whatsoever. So the rest of the book, this part, is a bonus story that you get. It's called Fully Ignited by Shannon Stacy, and it's about this firefighter who, his lieutenant was just hurt in a, you know, in a fire. Like, he broke his leg or something like that. He was just really hurt really bad. And they needed to find a replacement for him. Just a temporary replacement until he can get back on his feet. And so there's been a couple temporary replacements, but the one that, of course, we know about, the one that we see truly is Jamie, who they believe is a guy at first, but is actually a woman. So their lieutenant is a woman now. And Scott, who doesn't really want to, he's had some pretty bad relationships lately, so he just has sworn off all, like, quick hookups kind of thing. Like, the only time he'll actually get with someone is when he believes that he actually has a future with them. And of course, he meets Jamie, and they really shouldn't be together because she is his lieutenant, and if anything happens while at work, you know, like when they're together during a fire, and if he tries to, like, if he doesn't do his job and instead is worrying about protecting her, things can get really bad, and vice versa. So they really shouldn't be in a relationship together, but they decide to anyway, because of course it's a romance. And the best thing going for Shannon Stacy is that she did have some smut scenes. I was fine with that. And the fact that it was longer. Like, I felt like the progression of the relationship was believable. Like, everything that pretty much happened, I felt like, okay, this I can get behind. Like, it wasn't the greatest book of all time. Also, I believe it's like a third in the series. At least it could be. It's definitely not the first book. I could tell that right away. Like, I could tell from the beginning that there were other couples' relationships, and there were references to things that happened in other books that I'm just like, I don't know what the hell happened. So I always hate reading a book, even if it's a companion series, like this one probably is, because I believe the other ones would probably focus on other couples, but I always hate going into later onto a series instead of without reading the first book, because it's like there are always references, and I'm always like, when did that? I don't know what happened. Like, what? Like, oh, you got into a fight? Like, oh, this happened? Like, I don't know what's going on. And I hate that. Yeah, they sort of explain it a little bit, but they don't, like, I still feel like I'm missing something. So that really wasn't good. But, I mean, some things weren't the greatest. Like, in the beginning, I really wasn't, like, sure if I was gonna like this, and I really wasn't connecting with anything. But it started to get better once the romance started to progress. I did like that. So for Wanted Perfect Partner, I think I gave like a 1.5 or a 2-star, and Fully Ignited, I would probably give like a 2.5 or a 3-star. So overall, I think I'm just gonna give it like a 2.5 stars. Like, I think Fully Ignited, Shannon Stacy would probably be an author that I would want to read from again, and I would probably want to try and pick up the first book in that series, which I don't know what it's called. Here, let me see if I can find it. Like, they probably have a, yeah, so I was right. So it's called the Boston Fire series, and the first one is called Heat Exchange, And the second one is called Controlled Burn. And the third one is Fully Ignited. I knew it had to be like a third book in a series. And then there is another book. And then another book after that. So, yeah, this is definitely a third in a series, which is fine. But, it was, like, Fully Ignited was good, and I'd probably end up continuing on with that series and, like, getting the first and second one maybe, like, from the library or something, because I don't know if I really want to own these books. But Debbie McCumber, I have one other book by her, and I'm probably try and read that one and see maybe if I would buy any more books from her. But with just this one, I would never pick up a Debbie McCumber. And if I didn't have the other one that I bought as well, I probably wouldn't. Yeah, I probably wouldn't get it again. Oh my god. So next up we have Too Aisle To Wed by Eloisa James. I hope this is the first in a series, but it's probably not. I got this on my Kindle. I just grabbed this from the library so I can show you a physical copy. But I had this on my Kindle, so I decided to pick it up because I just didn't really want to carry a book with me or anywhere. So I just want to read on my phone. So, oh god, this is a historical fiction romance. It's a historical romance. And it's about this Duke and this one lady. They were engaged to be married, and then one day she jilts him and she just runs away. And he finds her only to find that she has a boy with her. She has a son. And he does, you know, now he understands why she left him, but he doesn't understand, like, how she got this kid or what's going on. But, so they decide, you know, like, they're not going to be married. And then he goes off to war, and Diana, the fiance, Diana, she is disowned by her family, and is, she's poor, and she's living alone with her son, because you later find out something, so I'm not gonna say anything, but, wow, I can't talk. So, she ends up getting a job as a governess / nanny. Like, they give her the title of governess, but she's really just a glorified nanny. At his estate, while he's off at war. He comes home to find her there, and he's just like, what the frick is going on? And he still is attracted to her, he still feels like he wants to be with her, but, you know, with everything that happened, he doesn't know if he can, but of course, their romance, of course, does happen. This was okay, this was good. I give it like 3.5 out of 5 stars. I do like this cover, though. This cover is actually good in this. I do need to pick up the other one. I don't know. This one could... I don't know if, yeah, I think this is the second one. I think Wild in Love is the first one. And again, there are references to characters that I have no idea who they are, and, like, and their relationship, and it's just like, what? So, I didn't know that this was a second in the series, or maybe even a third, I don't know. I think it's a second. But yeah, I was like, okay. But references, again, that I didn't get. But the smut was good in this. I really just wanted to pick it up because of the romance and the smut. I just needed that. So yeah, I gave that like a 3.5 out of 5 stars. I did pick up 2 other books also on my Kindle that I don't have physical copies of. Those are Sweet Addiction and Sweet Possession, I believe it's what it's called. Sweet Addiction is the first and Sweet Possession is the second. Sweet Addiction is supposed to be a standalone, but Sweet Possession still follows the same characters, but apparently it's a companion. Okay. I don't care. It's fine. She probably didn't know that she was going to write a sequel of them, but it's fine. So, Sweet Addiction follows 2 characters. This baker, her name is Dylan, and she hooks up with this guy at her ex-boyfriend's wedding. It's really all you need to know going into this. lots of smut, lots of like hot characters, some drama, and I was fine with that. This book was just so amazing. This book had me laughing at times and crying at others. Oh my god. Joey is one of my favorite side characters of all time. He had me cracking up through the entire thing. I loved him. He's gay and he's out there. He's perfect. I love him. And then Sweet Possession follows the same two main characters and all of the same characters, and it's still freaking perfect. And I love this series now. Both these two books I gave 5 out of 5 stars. I love Dylan and Reese. They're freaking fantastic. All the couples in these are fantastic. There is a third book in this series. I can't remember what it's called. I don't have it. I did go and I did buy Sweet Possession once I finished Sweet Addiction because I could not get enough of that. But I didn't buy the third one just because that follows Brooke, who is another side character. And I don't really need to read her story right now. I am planning to, just not at the moment, and I can wait for that. If it was Reese and Dylan again, I'd be all over it. But, yeah. So yeah, I gave both of those books 5 out of 5 stars. I love them. And I'm also reading Voyeur, which is another smut, which is about a teacher and his student. And the student works at this voyeuristic club, and the teacher goes there, and he sees her, and that's all you need to know. It's crazy. But it's also like 50 Shades-esque. I am pretty much done with it. I just have the ending. Like, I'm literally like 90% in. It's good. Like, the smut's fine. The characters are fine. There's a lot of drama, and it's a lot like 50 Shades drama. And I've read that, I read that in 50 Shades, and like, okay. It's good though. It's good. Yeah. I could live without that kind of drama. But, so, the only other 2 books that I completed are Saga Volume 6 and 7. You already know what Saga is about because you've probably seen every other booktuber talking about Saga. I love Saga. It's been a while since I picked up Saga. Like, this one I believe came out in like July 2 years ago, and this one came out in last year, and then there's Volume 8 that came out last year, and Volume 9 comes out this year, and then they went on hiatus. Why? This series is fantastic. I gave this one like 3.5 stars, and this one like 4.5 stars. This one was just crazy. They both are pretty crazy, but like, they just go places, and oh my god. In this one, you see our first trans character, which was fantastic. I love that character. I think her name is Petrichor, and that's her. She's literally one of my favorite characters now, and I don't care. I love her. I love this series. I love these two continuations of the series. I need to get Volume 8. My library doesn't have them yet. I got these from my library. I own the volumes of 1, 3, 4, and 5. I don't have 2, and then I need to get these 2 and 8 and then 9 when it comes out. But yeah, I'm really, really in love with this series, and I need to continue on. And then the only other book that I've read, other than Voyeur, that I'm currently reading, this one I'm technically currently reading, though I haven't picked it up in days, and that is God's Grave by J. Kristoff. I picked this book up and I got like 65 pages in. And I really enjoyed it, but like I said, I wasn't in the mood for fantasy. I should have been in the mood for fantasy, but I wasn't. So I was trying to read this for the buddy read with Julie over at Pages and Pens. She had her her buddy read going with this, and there was a chapter breakdown and everything. And I got like 2 days, and then I just couldn't continue on. I was sort of enjoying what was going on. There were things that I was just like, I could do without. But, again, I'm only 65 pages in, and I don't know when I'm going to pick this one up again. So, hopefully I'll pick this up and finish it this month, but I'm not sure. I kind of want to read Nevernight again. So, we'll see. Oh, I will say, though, that Mr. Kindly and Eclipse are fantastic. and their back and forth, just them back and forth is just fantastic. Alright, so those are the books that I finished and I'm currently reading. Also, I have quite a bit of books that I need to start reading. I have a lot of library books that I got. Like, I got Grace and Fury, Never Won't Wake. 9 Days and 9 Nights, I picked this up. Don't know if I'm actually going to read it, but I need a contemporary. And I read 99 Days, so I might actually just pick this one up. Also, as a contemporary, I have The Only Thing Worse Than Me Is You by Lily Anderson. I've been really wanting to read this for quite some time, so we'll see if I do. I have Nevermore, which is The Trials of Morgan Crow. Everyone is just going nuts about that one. I have a brand new book, which is These Rebel Waves, oh my god, by Sarah Rush. I've been really wanting to pick that one up, though I don't know if I'm going to like it, so that's why I got from the library. And it's brand spanking new, too. So, I have some other ones, but those are the ones that I'm like, yes, I really, really could get to if I wanted to. And then, like I said, my brother chose my TBR for this month, and I feel really bad because I haven't gotten to any of the books that he chose for me. So I have Black Prism, which is a brick, so we'll see if I actually get to that. But I do have this on my Kindle, and then there's the audiobook, so I could technically read this, but we'll see. And then I have Ever the Hunted, which I have the audiobook for, by Erin Summerall. We'll see, though. And then I have Truth Witch by Susan Dennard, which it would be a reread if I get to this. But he did choose Wind Witch for me, so if I do read that, I definitely need to read this one first, just to refresh my memory. But who knows, I might just get a recap on it and decide just to go right into Wind Witch. We'll see. But yeah, that's the video, guys. Hopefully next week I'll have all of these books to talk about. But I feel like this week I read, like, what, 8 books? Almost 9? Hello. I mean, it was good. I didn't read all the books that I should have been reading. I just read the books that I wanted to read. So, that's it for me today, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again with another video. Bye. Happy reading.